So our ingredients for tonight's bolognese are 2 ribs of celery, small dice, 2 carrots, small dice, 1 medium onion, small dice, 6 garlic cloves. An additional ingredient you can add for extra is 1/4 cup of diced fennel bulb. This is a teaspoon of your favorite Italian seasoning, 2 29-ounce cans of whole tomatoes that you crush by hand, 2 cups of milk, and we're going to be using 1.5 cups of white wine, and over here we have 2 pounds of ground beef. Hi, Karen at Red Rock Kitchen. Tonight we're making an Italian classic, bolognese. So let's get started. We're going to start with our ingredients. We have the 2 celery ribs. We're going to saute our vegetables in the oil. So you're going to put 2 to 3 good tablespoons of oil in here. Here's the 2 to 3 carrots. We're going to want about a cup of fine diced vegetables. Then we have a medium onion, fine dice or small dice, which is about 1.5 cups. We're going to let that saute for a bit with some salt to bring out the aromatics. All right, and you're going to let that go for a good 5 to 7 minutes. On a side note, if you're adding fennel to your pasta like I do, this would be the time to add it as well. So after about 7 minutes of sauteing your carrots, celery, and onion, we're going to add our garlic. And we do that later because we don't want the garlic to burn. And I'm going to add that non-traditional ingredient, which is one of my favorite Italian seasonings, true bolognese. They really don't add herbs to, but I feel like it bumps up the flavor a bit. So we'll saute that a couple minutes. And then we'll add our ground beef. So let's see how that is going. So then we're just going to add, after you let this saute, just release some of those flavors. All right? A little patience. Yeah, that's wonderful. Then we're going to add 2 pounds of ground beef. And you're going to slowly brown that over a medium heat until all the beef is done. Now we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so as you're cooking the beef, be sure you break it into small pieces with your spatula. You can use metal, or like I do, I love my wood utensils. Don't forget to check out our video on how to care for wood utensils. Hi, so this is smelling really good. Look at the steam coming off of that. So once your beef breaks down, I want you to saute, about 5 to 7 minutes again. All right, and now we're going to add something you're not going to expect. True bolognese. We're going to add 2 cups of milk. Yes, we use whole milk in this house. You could use 2%. So now our goal with this is to simmer the sauce until almost all the milk evaporates. So you're going to turn your heat down a little so you don't curdle, and just give that some time. Okay, so once the milk has evaporated, about 12 to 15 minutes, you'll notice, see when I pull, there's not any liquid left. All right, so that's how you know you're ready for the next step. So the next step happens to be wine, and not just the wine I drink, but you actually want to use wine that you will drink in your cooking. You never want to use cooking wine that is loaded with sulfite, salt. It's in a vinegar aisle. So I'm going to suggest tonight for this recipe a Pinot Grigio, a light wine from Italy. It's fantastic. Some of them run dry, some of them run sweet. You don't need to spend a lot of money on this wine. So what we're going to do for the next step is add 1.5 cups of white wine. You would think you should use red wine, but no, we're going to use white wine. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the milk. And that is to just simmer another 7 to 12 minutes, maybe 15. And when that dries out, we'll show you the next step. Okay, so now after your wine evaporates for about 12 to 15 minutes, you'll see the same thing. Moderately dry pan, and that's what we're looking for. So now we're going to add our tomatoes. Remember, I like to use whole canned tomatoes and crush them by hand because when you buy diced tomatoes in a can, they are not as ripe as the whole tomatoes that go into these. I did choose the San Marzanos that have the little bit of basil in there. So now you're going to add the 2 29-ounce cans of whole tomatoes. And this is where you grab your glass of wine and you wait 2 hours. You're going to simmer this sauce on low for about 2 hours. Drink your wine, get your garlic bread ready, your salad, and stir occasionally. We'll show you how it turns out in a bit. So you can tell as you are longer into the simmering process that the color of the sauce starts to change. It's going to be good. Fresh, gluten-free egg fettuccine pasta from Trader Joe's. You can also find pasta at Vitamin Cottage, Natural Grocers. Get your water boiling, and we'll show you that soon.